Hey guys, this is Chris with Financial Fitness, and I just got through interviewing Rob Kientz with Gold Silver Pros. I'm going to leave a link to his YouTube channel in the description below. We covered some ground in this interview. I'm going to break it up in about 3 or 4 different videos to put it in bite-sized pieces because I don't want you to miss anything we talked about. And before I get started on the interview, I want to let you know about the Red Pill Expo that's going on in Lafayette, Louisiana on November 6th and 7th. We're going to talk about things that we cannot talk about here on YouTube. I hope I see you there. Like and subscribe, ring the bell. Let's go. Hey guys, this is Financial Fitness, and this is Rob Kientz. So I'd love for you to talk about how China is the Spratly Islands, and I've done some videos on this, on what they're doing. They're building these man-made islands. Yeah. And have you noticed the little harbor in the middle of them for the warships?
Yeah, they're building these man-made islands. But what they're doing is they're hauling in all this sand and dirt, gravel, whatever it is, however they're building it. They're building islands, and then they're claiming that's their sovereign territory. So now they have control of all the seas around it. And one of the things, that we've learned through, some data intel that we received was China doesn't have the Navy the U.S. has, obviously. They can't go, deep water. They've only built a couple of aircraft carriers, are not as advanced.
A green water Navy. They're aspiring to be a blue water Navy.
Yeah. But in the meantime, they got to build ports. And those ports serve 2 purposes. One, those ports are for the warships, because China learned from World War II. China learned that when the U.S. went to the Pacific to take on Japan, they had to go over this absolute gauntlet of islands before they could get to Japan itself, and they had to clear them out. And if you saw the HBO special, The Pacific, I think Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg did it. If you saw that series of videos, they depicted how grueling and massively bloody it was to advance in the Pacific and eventually get to Japan. Japan had all this buffer space between them and the West. And I think China saw that and they said, you know what? Whatever islands are out there, let's claim sovereignty. And whatever, if we need an island, let's just go build one. And literally they built it. It gives them a bigger military footprint, but also they have this thing called the Belt and Road Initiative. So economically, they've got agreements with about 3/4 of the world's economies from a GDP perspective, production perspective, to build all these trade routes. And so they've got ports in Africa, they've got ports in the Middle East, they've got ports in South America. And that's where they can ship their goods, right? Because if you think about the old British Empire, how did it expand? It expanded economically. And then they would patrol it, with their military, and they would use those ports for their military and for the trade. And that's what China's doing. They're using the old British model. And I saw something come out the other day, and I can't remember where I saw it, but there was a military intelligence in the U.S. who thought that China would use cargo ships to haul troops. So if they wanted to do like a surprise landing somewhere, they would put a bunch of troops in like a regular cargo ship, ship it over, land in one of their ports. Troops, tanks, all that kind of stuff come out. They've got you by surprise, right? And
that's scary.
Yeah, and if they're connecting, all these ports together, and they're getting these deals with all these other countries, because economically, China's allowing those companies to have access to their billion-person market and to everybody else, Russia, Europe. They're connecting all this. So all these countries are like, yeah, come on, China, give us these loans. We want to build these ports for you. We want to build all these facilities for you. China, and just like the U.S. did, China's going to use that to say, hey, I want to use your port to deploy troops. So that's what the U.S. does. The U.S. has like 700 bases, and they use that to deploy their troops everywhere. China's doing the same thing. So China's learning from the West. They're using that system, against the West. And all that's being done now, and the media in the U.S. will not mention a word of it. You never hear this talked about on your local news or, your 6 o'clock national news. You're not going to hear it.
And, I feel like there's going to be a time where it's going to be hard to find on YouTube, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
They don't want this stuff out. And it's I'm going to keep it coming.
Yeah.
It's important. It's important.
Yeah.
And
well, no, it's important for you to do it because there's only so many voices, and we need more people to reach more people. So the more people we have like you talking about this stuff, the more people you're going to reach. I was watching one of your videos before we got on about how you met some of your subscribers in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, up at Silver Symposium. So those are people maybe that I haven't reached or somebody else hasn't reached. So we all need to like try to talk about this.
yeah, my people are blue collar, good people that build this country.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that are going to get hurt the worst, period.
Yeah.